YouTuber who's leading the way. Yeah. He's got a passion for all things nerdy. Dungeons and Dragons, his world's not blurry. From comics to movies, he's got it all. He's an Outpost nerd living in a geeky world with his lightsaber shining. He's a Star Wars swerve through galaxies and adventures. He'll take you there, take you there. He's an Outpost nerd, no one can compare. Nerd power. Yeah, he's the king of nerds, catching that flare.
Good evening, my nerd geeks and dweebs, and welcome to another stream from the Outpost Nerd. I am Nerd of the Outpost, and let's get ready for the weekend, everybody. It's finally Friday. Don't have to get up early tomorrow, and actually, I have a week off due to Thanksgiving, and I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving coming up. I'm looking forward to it. Just a whole week, a whole 10 days of just relaxing, being able to do what I need when I need it. Don't have to worry about work. Don't have to worry about kids or grades or schoolwork, It's going to be great. Going to have turkey, ham, stuffing, green beans, all that good stuff coming up Thursday. So it's been a while. I know it's been a while. Just started this new job working with middle schoolers. Had a lot going on, but it's been a good time. Get some money saved up, getting stuff I need. Actually, got to go to my high school's 100th anniversary homecoming a few weeks ago. Had a great time there and was invited to come back and play with the band. As I've said before, I was a huge band geek, played the baritone, and got to meet the current band, meet some old alumni, but best of all, I got to see some old friends that I hadn't seen. There was only about 5 or 6 of us, but I learned something. I learned that marching in the high school band is a young person's game. Oh boy, I played baritone, and so I had a pretty heavy instrument I had to carry, but I loved every second of it. But and our high school is right beside the local football field. We have about we have 4 high schools that share our town stadium, and our high school happened to be the one right beside the stadium. So we would meet in the band room and march over to the stadium during home games, and we would do these little kind of I guess grooves or dances, and I realized after when we were marching and got into the stands, I'm like, oh wow, I could feel it in my arms and shoulders and chest. But it was so much fun. I got to see so many good friends. I looked at my friend who played the drums, and I was like, dude, because it'd been 20 years since we marched in the band together. Since my senior, I graduated in 2006, so it'd been 20 years coming up. Oh wow, that just boggles my mind. And it was so much fun. I looked at him and said, dude, we're old. He's like, yeah, man. Cause he had a big bass drum he was carrying. But I saw some friends. We sat down and just hung out. Saw some friends that weren't band friends, but their kids now are playing football or in one of the clubs that was celebrating. And it was a lot of fun. And I remember, I won't forget. I don't think I'll ever forget. And I'm not gonna lie. When I opened, I had to borrow a school instrument, and when I opened it, I got a little choked up because I miss playing. I miss the music, but it was so much fun, and like I said, got to meet the new kids, new players playing in the band, and met some guys that were from the class of 1967. Some old timers there, so it was a lot of fun meeting the young kids and meeting the old gang and meeting the old timers from back long before I was born. About, oh gosh, 67. I don't even think my mom and dad were in high school then, but it was a lot of fun. So, thing I'm gonna do, you know, talking makes your mouth dry. So I'm gonna do something. Ah, there we go. Got my Dream Fuel, my soda for the evening. I don't drink alcohol, so I just drink sodas, tea, and water. It's good. It's good. It's good. So a lot of things, especially in the past few weeks, even the past few days, that have been going on in nerd culture. You know, we've had movies come out since the last time I've been on, but right now I'm going to start with something that I kind of like. I'm not too sure. I think it it might be good if they can do it right. Dune Prophecy, the new show from HBO. It's set. It's set about. I think I read 100,000 years before Dune and Children of Dune. So long time before Paul Atreides. It's two Harkonnen sisters, combat forces that threaten the future of humankind and establish the fabled sect that will become known as the Bene Gesserit. So it's kind of an origin story for the Bene Gesserit, the sisterhood that that kind of the puppeteers behind the um, the lines of succession to get the Kwisatz Haderach. I love Dune. I love the 1980s movie. I really enjoyed that. Um, but I love the feel of Dune Part One and Two, the newer movies they did a few years ago. Some of the casting, some of the changes, I didn't particularly care for, but I love the look. And Dune Prophecy really continues that. And let's look at the cast. There's some cast members that I recognize. Mark Strong as Emperor Corino. I remember him as Merlin from the Kingsman movies. He's really really good. Emily Watson and Olivia Williams as Valia and Tulia Harkonnen. Let's see what Emily Watson has been in. Let's see. Um, Chernobyl. I remember seeing a little bit of that. Never watched the whole thing. Oh, she was in Kingsman: The Golden Circle. So another Kingsman alum, her Mark Strong. I don't see anything else. Yeah, I have not seen anything. Equilibrium. Oh, that's a great movie. Christian Bale, a great Christian Bale movie. Red Dragon. Don't remember that. So, yeah, a few things, one or two things I recognize her. Let's see about her co-star Olivia Williams. I find the whole. Let's see. Okay, she was she was in Rings of Power. She was the female ant, the ant wife. Let's see. I don't see anything else that I recognize her in. Seventh Son. I watched. I couldn't get through that movie. It was Jeff Bridges So no, don't. I remember Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll was. Oh, she was Moira McTaggart in X Men: The Last Stand. Okay, that's cool. Um, she was Mrs. Darling in 2003's Peter Pan. Never saw it, but I recognize The Sixth Sense. Okay, wow, she was in The Sixth Sense. That's cool. Yeah. So once again, these are two ladies I haven't really seen, but let's go to the one guy I recognize the most, Mark Strong. Let's see. Oh wow, he was in the Legends of the Vox Machina. I did not know that. Oh, that's cool. Uh, Atlas. Yeah, he was the bad guy in Shazam. He makes an amazing bad guy. He's a great bad guy. Let's see. Of course, he's going to be in the two Kingsman movies. He was in Dark Crystal. That's cool. Kingsman Golden Circle. Yeah, he was Merlin. Yeah, there he is. First Kingsman. I didn't like how those two movies ended. I see two people in chat. Are you going to say anything? Justin and the Knights of Valor. Zero Dark 30. Okay. Yes, he was in John Carter. I really liked that movie. Oh, he was Titus in Warhammer 40K. Oh, that's cool. He was Sinestro. I went and saw. I dragged my two friends, and they weren't nerdy like me to see Green Lantern, and I'm sitting there thinking it was so bad. I'm sitting there thinking, oh, I should not have brought them to see this. And it was just bad. We were making fun of it halfway through. Oh, the Secret World of Marietti. He was Pod Clock. That's cool. On the UK version, he was in Kick-Ass. Cool. That's right. And he was in Sherlock Holmes, the Robert Downey Jr. version, as Lord Blackwood. That's right. I'm remembering more and more of these now. Babylon AD. I think I watched that movie once. That's one of those movies. And Stardust. He was Septimus in Stardust. I remember that. Well, Babylon AD is one of those kind of action movies you watch one time and it's like, okay. Let's see. Get into his older stuff back when I was in high school. No, not. This is probably before he got kind of big over here across the pond. So yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic about Dune Prophecy. I do like seeing the background of where things started, and we still have that political intrigue that to me makes Dune such an enticing story. And it's going to be interesting if they can keep it up. I will say some of the ships are some of the ugliest I've ever seen. And to me, that's kind of a letdown because for me, a good space opera or space adventure needs good looking ships. That's one thing that I like about Star Wars is just, and this was the only good thing about the prequel series is the civilian fleet. You got to see all the different kinds of ships that have been that they created over the years, and you saw them in action. So in Dune Prophecy, they look like pieces of toast flying. That's the best way I could describe them. So, but as the season goes on, I'll try to have more about it, more thoughts on it. So, but like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic. So, going from cautiously optimistic to let down, and then we'll go to something I really like. So, we now have our cast and their cast character reveal for our live action How to Train Your Dragon. Now, I liked How to Train Your Dragon, the movies. I really enjoyed them. Watched the cartoon series a little bit with my nephew when he was younger, when he was living with me. But they decided now to, as they always do, to keep milking these franchises that at one time made them money. We see it at Star Wars, Star Trek, all these franchises. So let me show you who we have as our cast of characters. Some of them I like, well, one of them, a couple of them have me like cocking my head and like, why the hell did you choose this person? It makes me think, what are you thinking? So here we have Hiccup, Mason Thames as Hiccup. Not too sure about him. I think they should have gotten someone leaner. Not this guy looks too good to be Hiccup. So let's see. Next. And this one has made a lot of people ask why. Nico Parker as Astrid. Why? She's a Viking. She's supposed to be blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman. Now, I'm sure Nico Parker, I don't know who she is. Let me see what she has been in. It's probably not much since he's younger. Okay. Let's see. She's in Dumbo. She's only been acting since 2019. She's in Dumbo and The Last of Us. 2 episodes of The Last of Us. She's in the new Bridget Jones movie. Which, why, again, I don't know why they're doing that. So I'm not happy with this one. I understand, representation, we need, yes, then this isn't representation, this is pandering. This is what it is, trying to pander to a certain audience demographic at the expense of another. So Gerard Butler as actually Stoic. He was, he voiced the character in the movies, and then he's actually playing the character in live action, which I love. I love Gerard Butler. He's one of my favorite actors. Loved him in 300. He's funny. He's got such great range, and I'm really glad he was able to come back in. He was willing. I love it when actors come back and willingly play a new version of these characters, or make fun of these characters that made them famous and popular. Nick Frost, who one of my favorite movies of all time is Hot Fuzz. Him and Simon Pegg. I love Hot Fuzz. I can watch those shootout scenes at the end of Hot Fuzz over and over again and just be awestruck. I love him. So Nick Frost is a great actor, really favorite of mine. Him and Simon Pegg, great work. He's taking over as Gobber, who was voiced by Craig Ferguson. The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson during the movies and a lot of the TV shows. I believe the TV shows he voiced him too. And Julian Dennison as Fish Legs. Again, why the race swap? This is the kid who played Fire Fist in Deadpool 2. This, I don't think he's a good actor. Not a fan. Not a fan. And Gabriel Howe as Snotlout, which I think this is a good choice. I think he's got the look, I think, of Snotlout, the character. This is a decent casting choice. This one, I do not know who she is. Let's see what she's played in. She did National Theater, Hangman, Autoplot. She's playing in Wicked. That's coming out this weekend. And Shen Shen, I don't know who Shen Shen is. One of the college kids, so I don't know her. She played in Outlander, Ghost. That's all I know she's in, but she's got a much bigger filmography than the other, than Astrid. So but that's again, that's not Rough Nut. That's because the next actor is supposed to be her twin, and this I think is a good casting choice. He's got that kind of gangly, long face like Rough Tough Nut, but going back, how are these two twins? And Roof Cod as well. Well, I can't even say it. I don't know this character. I don't remember. All it says is she's a member of the Viking village. Okay. Let's see. Tough Nut. Let's see what he's been in. Again, just a handful of things. None that I've seen. Let me see. Mason Thames. What's he been in? Again, 4 or 5 things. Nothing that I've seen. Okay. So a lot of these. Lady Autumn. Yes, I was talking about Tough Nut and Rough Nut from How to Train Your Dragon. These are the actors playing these characters, and how are they twins? How are they supposed to be twins? Lady Autumn, thank you for coming. Yes, I did see twins. Yep, yep, yep. Just talking some How to Train Your Dragon news. But it's one of my favorite franchises. I really love the different dragons, and the good thing that they did is really keep the look of the dragons um in how to in the live action. Let me bring up. I'll show you Toothless. This is what I really like. This I really like this. You know, this scene. This is an iconic scene of when Hiccup reaches out and lets Toothless come to him. So this is just like if they took Toothless right off out of the cartoon. This is going to be really good. Um, I'm hoping I'm wrong about the casting, but usually I'm not. So it's going to be interesting. Again, these are just my previewing opinions. They're no one's opinion but my own. But I'm optimistic. And we're off to something I really, really loved. Oh my God, this is awesome. So this made my little nerd heart swell. This brought like to a close a lot of Star Trek nerd hopes and dreams. William Shatner's Kirk Says Farewell to Nimoy Spock in Star Trek anniversary film. So short film. 30 years ago this week, William Shatner took his final bows. Yeah. And he took his final bow as Captain James T. Kirk in the film Star Trek Generations. Kirk died with a grieving Picard at his side, saving an inhabited planet from annihilation. However, fans were not satisfied with Captain Kirk's final goodbye. Sure, it was neat to see him share the screen with Patrick Stewart as Picard, but they had only just met. It would have meant 10 times more to have Leonard Nimoy's Spock there as Kirk departed his mortal plane of existence. Alas, it was not to be. Via Trek movie, we learned that 3 decades after Star Trek Generations hit theater, the Roddenberry archive, together with OTOY, has rectified this mistake with a short film called Yes, Say Hello to the Kids for Me. Short film called 765874 Unification. Directed by Spanish filmmaker Carlos Bignani. No, that's it was made with the involvement of Shatner himself, along with the Leonard Nimoy estate. The mostly silent short film will bring tears to the eyes of any long-term Star Trek fan, especially those who wish Kirk and Spock could have had that one final reunion. You can watch it, but I'm not going to play it. I don't want to get copy struck. But look at that. That is the Kirk from 30 years ago that we saw in Generations. Now, I will say the re-aging, there's been a lot of re-aging done in the past, 5 years and stuff. We saw it with Michael Douglas and Ant-Man. And then it always looked weird to me because when someone talks, I've always noticed when the cheeks move, your jaw moves, your cheeks jiggle, jiggle up and down. We didn't see that with Michael Douglas. Like his side of his lips were tight, and then, when people talk like that, it's like, oh my god, you can hear the tightness in the voice. I studied all this, as I've mentioned before. I had to study all this in my music lessons. I had to study facial anatomy and the respiratory system, and you can still see. To me, it seems around the outline of the face. It's around here. I think it's still an almost plastered on like face mask almost. But I loved seeing that. You saw different ages. Here we have Leonard Nimoy's Spock, and I think with the less emotion that Spock as a Vulcan show, it was easier to portray or to de-age a little bit. But here we have the different versions of Kirk. We have the original series Kirk, we have the movies Kirk, and then the Generations Kirk. And we see each one of him, each version of him. He's kind of reliving parts of his life and experiencing the youth again. Here's the actor who played the stand-in. But it was so beautifully done. As I said, it was so much emotion, and I can't. There was so much said with so few words. And season 2 was good. I liked season 2. There'll be some episodes you'd be like, really? Well, thanks for being here, Winning. I appreciate enjoy it. You'll like it. It's gonna introduce a lot of things that you'll see. You kind of see the original series take shape a little more in season 2, but you'll enjoy it. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for stopping by. One thing I liked about Unification is it answered some questions about the search for Spock with Lieutenant Savick, and what she had to do on Genesis for for Spock when he was growing up again after um I'm trying to find something. I'm trying to find something. Um cuz it's left ambiguous, while on Genesis Spock and Savick had to go through Pon Far together, the Vulcan mating cycle that happens every 7 years. It kind of hit Spock hard as he is accelerated aging. So it it answered a question. It showed that Lieutenant what was the actress's name? I can never remember. Christy Alley, played the Lieutenant Savick originally. Robin Curtis for the Search for Spock and Voyage Home came. Hey Shelly, thanks for being here. Yeah, just talking a little bit of Star Trek. I reckon I recommend this a short film that they did was beautiful. You would love it, Shelly. You can just go search for the Roddenberry archives on I'll I'll post the link. I'm gonna post the link. Um, it it was so well done that I really let me see. I need to learn to talk and type at the same time. But there's art that you don't need words to experience the emotion that it's trying to portray. And I think with unification they really did it because there's very few words. Where is it? Uh hmm. I watched it on here. Let me see something. But it it uses Hey, did they take it off? I cannot find it. But it answers questions. It it gives closure to a storyline that Trekkies have wanted for oh god, most of my life. But I loved it. Robin Curtis came back as old Savick, and it was beautifully done. So that's one thing. That's I try not to focus on things I don't like. I also try to focus. I want to share things I do like. It's just things things I like are few and far in between. But I'm I'm glad I'm gonna enjoy my break. Catch up on some shows, some movies. One show I've been watching a lot. It's a mystery show, The Murdoch Mysteries from Canada. It's set in Victorian Toronto with a police detective who uses what we would consider modern and commonplace techniques such as fingerprints, lie detectors, infrared lights for searching for blood. He uses those back when they were new and people were still skeptical about them. About Andor. I haven't even started it yet. I know it's on my list. When I swear, I'll watch it while Thanksgiving break. I will watch it while on, and a lot of the cast of Andor I oh the um the rebellion leader who gives that. Oh my gosh, one show and I'm a slacker. I know, Shelly. I know. I deserve your shame. I deserve to be walked through the city streets with a bell. Shame, ding dong, shame, ding dong. Like in but a lot of the cast, like she was Aunt Petunia, the Cassius's mother in it. I know that, and it's on my list. But I, oh my gosh, take my nerd card away and rip it up. I know. How dare I? How dare I? I'm. I will cry myself to sleep and I will go flog myself and then cry myself to sleep tonight. I will give up my lightsaber. Oh, I'm such a bad Star Trek nerd or Star Wars nerd. But things are going well for me, guys. I'm enjoying my job. You know, it's tiring and stressful, but it's really rewarding. I'm starting. I had some really great teachers I work with, so that really support me. That really like when I have a kid really smart off to me, they'll step in and like really kind of hammer it down. Like he's an adult school employee. You listen to him just like you would listen to a teacher. Um, I I have some camaraderie with a lot of the kids now that they'll be walking through the halls and like, hey, Mister, hey, sir, you know, or one girl, she's like, hi, best friend, all the time. Every time she sees me, like she'll pass me in the hallway and then 2 minutes later pass me again. Hi, best friend. Hi, best friend. You know, it's fun. And some of them make me laugh even when I shouldn't. Like one kid, I had to answer the door. You know, our school policy is, you know, teachers and paras, we're the only ones allowed to answer doors. You know, some kids like like getting up and opening the door, but I have to stop them. And one of them asked me why can't I open the door? I said, well, it's for, you know, school policy, you know, for safe. If someone bad is on the other side of the door, they'll have to go through me, which, you know, people you have, those of you who've seen me, you know, that's not hard. I'm a small little guy. But one of them was like, he turned, I said that to him. He turned to me, asked me, how thick is that door? I said, oh, it's probably about 2 or 3 inches. Do you think I could kick that through? I said, no, it's 2 or 3 inches. And one of them was like, 2 or 3 inches is average. And I just started, and I'm like, I slapped my mouth, a hand over my mouth, and the kid's like, oh, he got the joke. They think I'm old and like fuddy duddy, but I they don't realize that I was the same way as a kid. I didn't think my teachers like had a life outside of school, out in the wild, as me and my friends called. Like you saw a teacher out in the wild, you're like, oh my god, you'd try to hide yourself. Oh my god, it's my teacher. How do? No, I can't. I can't let them see me out in the. This is the real world. They're not supposed to be here. They're not supposed to leave school. It's like that old Doctor Who episode. It was David Tennant's. Right after it was, what is it called? School Reunion. I think it was his first episode after his Christmas regeneration, where they interview a school at a school. They investigate a school, and Rose mentions like, "Oh, I always thought that teachers lived in the schools, and they find all the teachers have been replaced by aliens, and they're like bat-like aliens are hanging upside down in in the storage room." And he's like, Rose, do you remember what you said about your teachers? But it's fun. Um, I'm learning a lot. I do mostly English classes. I push in to help kids, help ESE kids, but I also I help in any way the teachers want. I'm really learning a lot myself. Um, we studied synonyms and antonyms this week, which was a lot of fun. My teacher, um, one of my teachers, she was able to come up with this matching game where you pick two synonyms and then you find an antonym for each for that fits both of them. It was a fun little game. It's the fun stuff like that that I think allows kids to learn easier because um, I'm learning a lot of patience. I'm learning a lot of patience, but I'm also reuniting with some friends that I hadn't seen in a long time. And one of my sons, his I know his entire one of the sons of my friends is actually a student in one of my English classes. That's a lot of that. I was talking to him yesterday about he was standing there at his desk doing the cinnamon. He was talking out loud to himself like, "Your uncle did the same thing. His uncle was in band. His dad and his uncle was in band with me. His mom was my 7th grade English teacher, and dad, his grandfather, his grandmother was my English teacher in 7th grade. My aunt worked with his grandfather, and where he was the administrative assistant at one of the middle schools in town that my aunt was his secretary. So, and I we had a big Veterans Day assembly. A couple of our teachers were military, so they put on. We had representatives from each branch and a couple of they brought some military vehicles from local Air Force base, and the kids got to see the equipment and see the vehicles. And I'm sitting there in the bleachers with my kids, and I'm looking down into the middle where they have chairs, and I see a group of uniformed servicemen. I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, hey, wonder if that's him. I wasn't sure because I couldn't see his face. And then I'm walking out of the gym, and I pass by him, and I see it's my buddy. I'm like, dude. And he introduces me to his son, who I had him in a couple of classes that I push into. And it's just great. I have purpose, a sense of purpose that I hadn't had in a long time. And I'm working hard, trying my best, and I hope people can see that. I've had jobs in the past where I've tried to do my best and it didn't work out. And I didn't know that I was not living up to the expectations that were put upon me until they said goodbye. But here they're saying, "Hey, we need to work on I need you to work on this. Here's how you do this. Let's do that." I'm getting feedback a little bit, and I have some really great teachers that I have one or two that are like, uh, I don't need a para. I don't want a para in here. And that's their prerogative. It's their classroom. If they don't want me to do anything, I'll just stand there or walk around the class to make sure the kids are doing okay. Because my first priority, I told them in my interview, first priority is my kids. I want to share something. Let's see. Did I send this to myself? One of the things I do is an inventory interest inventory test. So every once in a while I'll bring a kid in and they'll do basically a career aptitude test to see where they would fit, what topics would they find interesting. Let me see. I think I sent it to myself. Yes, I did. And the my test results kind of were shocking a little bit. Let me bring that up because I found this really interesting because it's something I've kind of thought about but not ever really considered. So let me send Share screen. You basically, it's like 15, 20 questions where you put interest. It's from interested to uninterested, and then it of things that are. It says, "Do you like doing this? Are you interested in doing this, or somewhat interested, not interested?" So I got an interest level of 100% legal. Wow, that surprised me. Legal careers are crucial to ensure fairness in the judicial system. That's not, for people who know me, that's not surprising because I'm kind of all about fairness. There's a wide variety of legal areas one can focus on, including criminal law, constitutional law. That has always interested me. Property law, civil rights law, family or juvenile law, corporate, copyright, trademark, international, environmental, arbitration, and even sentencing. Copyright and trademark sounds interesting, to the arts part of it. Oh, I had to get a swallow of water. So this shocked the crap out of me when I got this. And then again, of course, the arts, that's what I've always wanted to do. And then it kind of falls down. Multimedia night goes all the way down to 91%. Still, that's kind of arts. Public service, 91% again. So I need to send this to I got some people I'll send this to. But I find it interesting because this is the test I give my students that they take. And so I'm sitting there during lunch one day thinking, I'm going to take this test, see how I see what I do come up with. And I can't disagree with it. But I had I took the law test results. And I'll bring that up because I find this, I've always found law really fascinating, even before watching Ricada and LawTube and all that. See, top 100%, it was intellectual property law, which that's what I was talking about a minute ago with trademark law. But and then go to public and international law. But I said this to not winning the expert. We were talking once back a while ago about he was in law, and I jokingly said, if I ever heard your voice in the courtroom, I'd look at the judge, to throw the key, yeah, lock me up and throw away the key. And I know a lot of people, anyone who knows me would think if he was like representing me in law, I would be screwed. But I find this fascinating, and it's something I've kind of toyed with the idea about going into some kind of law-esque, not a lawyer per se, but maybe a paralegal or a court clerk. Excuse me. It's been about 6 years since I got my associate's, and I've been thinking, what can I go and get my bachelor's in? So I thought, I've toyed around with the idea about law or business degree, something like that. Okay, hold on. I will be right back.
Okay, look. I think if we all just take a couple of deep breaths here and just try to... Look! Do a barrel roll!
And I'm back. Ooh, had a big glass of sweet tea with dinner and couldn't wait any longer. Thank you again to Grimm's Bar for that amazing intermission video. Really, for if you want to listen to great music and some amazing video clips, Grimm's Bar's your dude. He does. He did that for me as a birthday present a few months ago. But yeah, I thought about it, Lady Autumn. It's just money wise. I don't know if if to get to do it, I'd have to probably. I don't know how I would pay for it, honestly. One, I'd have to. Yes, yeah, Grimmy is, uh, he's awesome when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'd love to do it. I don't know if my local FSU branch does law. That's one thing I'd have to look at. But I don't know if I'd have to take student loans out. But I've always wanted to do something that helps people that allows me to just help someone emotionally or like physically, like lawyers and stuff like that. But it's always been something that's interested me. I watch all these law shows, all these law documentaries. I had a friend she watched them too. She'd say, I don't watch them for entertainment. I watch them so I know how not to get caught. And if you know me, if you've ever talked to me, I love a good debate. I remember in 8th grade, my middle school tried one year to start a debate club, and it would always be early like Wednesday morning. And the first day debate club, I'm standing in the hallway like at 7. School doesn't start till like 8:30. I'm in the hallway at like 7, and our assistant principal walks by. She's like, "What are you doing in here?" I said, "Oh, I'm waiting to go for the debate club. It starts today." And our assistant band director, who I knew really well, and he would mess with me sometimes. He happened to be walking by, and I hear him say in a pseudo whisper, he knew what he was doing. He's like, "Yeah, he's gonna be good at debate club." I've looked, I've tried, but most firms in my town, we don't have corporate firms per se. They're like, they're not corporate law firms. They're more like lawyer based. Oh, I don't want to say mom and pop. Mom and pop just sounds too small. But yeah, I've looked into that. I've applied for them, and I never hear anything back. And I've tried calling them, but so I'm hoping, like, with the experience I'm getting on my resume working in the school system, and it might help me a little bit with opening some doors for that, because I think one thing about being a lawyer is thinking on your feet, crisis management, and I've had to learn that kind of like trial by fire working in the school system, but learn to be a little diplomatic. But it's always been a realm that's interested me. But so I found my test results interesting, but not really surprising, and I just thought I'd share them. So, and I know it's been a long time since I streamed. I think it was my birthday the last time I streamed, and thank you again, Shelly, for coming on for that stream. And even before then, it was another month or two since I streamed. I'm going to try to make Friday night kickoffs, weekend kickoff, a thing. With this job and the fact that I don't have to be up early on Saturdays with this job, it's just with working in the schools, sometimes I'm like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and this is another sign I'm getting old. 7:30, 8 o'clock. Sometimes I'm just like, oh God, the bed is calling me, and I've been going to bed like sometimes 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I'll make my appearance in Winnings, and then I'm usually like, but then like 4:30, 5 o'clock, I'm just wide awake. I turn over wide awake, no matter what I do. Yeah, those kids, they do run me ragged, but like I said, I'm tired but fulfilled. I really am, Shelly. Getting up and having something to look forward to helps with like my depression so much. And yes, I kind of got to be a little kind of a hard ass sometimes with the kids, but I try to be. I also try to be lenient. I always tell them, with me, you'll find that I follow I follow baseball. 3 strikes and you're out, and I don't usually have to get to the 3rd strike, but I got some good kids. A lot of Spanish speaking kids that I kind of sometimes struggle to connect with, but that's just part of the job. It's one thing we're trying to teach them is how to speak English, because some of them don't understand any English. Some of them are fresh off the boat, but they're good kids for the most part. Some of them you kind of have to drive a little harder than others, but there are a bunch of perks too. I got free lunch for the past 2 days. Yesterday, our beta club brought Philippine stud themed lunch for us, and we had like the noodles, egg rolls, the legumas. I can't. They bought some like steamed cauliflower and some like this pork stuff that was just so good. And then today we had our staff potluck Thanksgiving dinner. So legumes, yes. I can never remember what they're called. I have an aunt who's from the Philippines, and she would make them whenever we would have family Christmas dinner. She would bring them, and they would be gone in a flash. They were so good. And I got to sit there and talk to the kids that were serving, and yes. See, when I see it like that, thank you, Shirley. When I see it, I remember, but like ask me again an hour or two later, I probably won't remember. But they're so good. My aunt makes them. She's from the Philippines, and and then we had potluck Thanksgiving. One of my teachers, she made this almost like this turkey lasagna. Um, it almost looked like chili, almost, but it was so good. And someone bought like egg salad. See, I wasn't in the beta club. These kids serving me food were in the beta club. I was never good enough. My grades were never good enough to be in the beta club. I was in the key club. And basically, we just got together every few weeks and volunteered at places. Like we'd go to nursing homes or retirement homes and do that kind of stuff. And then we'd go off to eat. So, and then I was in band, of course. But it's the job is going good, guys, and I'm really happy. It's allowing me to get some things I need to um beta. Oh, that reminds me.
Take on me. Take on me. Take me on.
But it's allowing me to get some things I need and hopefully get a new car because I drive a 2003 Grand Prix and it is on its last leg. I have a transmission fluid leak somewhere, so every 2 or 3 weeks I'm having to put an entire bottle of transmission fluid in, and to get that checked would be probably $4,000 or $5,000. So it's best just to get a new car. But I'm finding like around here, like if you look at a used car for 2 or 3,000, there's a serious issues with it. Or if you look at used cars for sale from the owners for like 2,000 or $1,000 to $2,000, you're looking at just a parts car for parts, So it's hopefully I can get some help from like maybe my dad will help me out. I don't know, something I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna do some research, find some cars that interest me, do some research. Go on Kelly's Blue Book, find good if they're a decent price, and go to him, do some research on the car, and see if he'll help me out. He's the car guy. He knows more about cars and mechanical things than I do. But it's a goal. I have goals. With this job, it's helped me set goals and work towards meeting them. I buy I bought some new shirts and new clothes. I had to get new shoes. All that stuff that I need, that you need, and then I haven't really bought anything that I want. I bought a new watch because I don't want to be checking my phone every once in a while in the classroom. So I'll just check my watch, little Auburn watch, War Eagle. But that was probably like $30-$40, cheap little Timex watch, which to me it's great. I don't need like a Rolex or anything like that. My dad bought my mom a Rolex for Christmas. He had a bunch of frequent flyer miles since he was a pilot. She never wore it. She said she was too scared to wear it because it was so expensive. I mean, this was like a $1,000 watch or however much Rolex. It was a real Rolex, and he was able to get it. I think either he paid for it all with his flyer points, or maybe half of it. But she was just too scared to wear it. I think it's like in their cabinet or something in their bedroom. But it's going really well. I'm still dealing with the depression, but it's still there, but not. I'm able to get away from it, I guess you could say. With work, it's allowed me an outlet. It's allowed me to meet new people. Some of my teachers that I work with, I feel that I've gotten really to be really a little closer to, just due to the fact that I go to their classroom so much. Um, I can say it's going really well. So, I'm not there yet, but I finally found a path to get there, if that makes sense. And I think that's all a person that's I'm still going to therapy, and I I'm hoping to get on some meds once I can get on insurance. I work 15 minutes short of full time, so I don't get any benefits. And one of the ladies I work with, she's our union rep. And I mentioned that. I mentioned how mad that makes me. And she said that the last superintendent had it set up that way. And our current superintendent was appointed when the old one retired. Yeah. Yeah, but I find it odd because I was doing the same job last fall that I'm doing now, but I was full time and was able to get on the insurance. But the new superintendent has told our union rep he's hoping to change that. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, our union rep, she does the same job as me, and she's full time. So yeah, I understand. That's not unusual. I just find it odd that I'm doing the same job I did before, and I'm not full time, and it's just that 15 minutes. But I was told that that's one thing our union rep has taken to the superintendent, and he's wanting to change it. It just takes time. Yeah, but even then couldn't I hopefully find something, not the premium, but maybe find something a little where I could go to like the wellness center and be able to have that paid for. That's what I did last fall. I remember I got very sick. I got a bad flu, and I was able to go to the healthcare center, or wellness center as we call it here, and they were able to say, "Yeah, you have the flu. You're coming down from it, so we're not going to give you anything." But I went a few weeks ago. I went on healthcare.gov, and the cheapest I healthcare government healthcare I could find was like $430 something dollars, and that didn't include like dentistry. That was just bare minimum, like go for a checkup thing, if I remember right. The dentistry one, like the first one that had dentist, was like $439, if I remember right. Because I have dental work, and I seriously need to get checked out. But I have a friend who's gonna send me some information about like some healthcare people I can go talk to, see if they can help me find something. Because that's another goal: get healthcare and get checkups and done, and get some health issues that I've been kind of suffering through taken care of. But I have all these goals, and right now it feels like I'm on the path, like I said, to to to, to meet those goals. Um, so I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Not good, not great, not bad, not terrible. Doing okay. Um, I miss talking to a lot of y'all. I miss talking to all y'all. I It's when I'm alone. It's when there's silence. That's when the depression really gets bad. That's when the emptiness of sound leads to an emptiness of soul, almost. Um, it's living out as far as I do in the country, as Shelley would put it, the country, coming from the country girl. Um, it's hard to get out and meet people in real life. Um, I miss my friends a lot. I miss you guys, and I'm gonna try to be around more. Um, when I try to come on, uh, to support Shelly's shows when I'm on lunch break, but it's also kind of hard, sitting in the teacher's lounge listening to a Jersey girl going on rants. And sometimes I'm like, oh shit, gotta turn it down. Oh, she's cussing again. No, but that they don't mind. They don't mind at all. But I met some really like some of the teachers I have lunch with. One's from Ecuador, one's from England, and we have some really good conversations. Thank you, Lady Autumn. I just I never feel like I do enough. I'm always thinking, what else could I have done? And I think that's just part of my eccentricities, that I'm never satisfied. I'm always thinking, what could I have done better? What could I have added just to the to this to make that person happier, to make that person feel to not feel how I have felt. Mm. Oh, this is taking a turn. As I don't know how to do that. How do you do that? How do you rewire your thinking? Yeah, that's the one I couldn't listen to due to the kids being in the teacher's lounge, serving lunch. I'll go listen to that. I'll go put that on later. I usually when I go to bed for the night, I usually put on a podcast or a YouTube stream. I'll do. I'll try to remember to do that tonight. That'll probably be the one I go to bed to tonight, Shelly. Um, I don't like myself, Lady Autumn. I don't. Wow, this hit hard. But um, what? How do you? I, I've never. The only person I had who would see me like that has been gone since 2006. Um, yeah. There's a lot of things Yeah, I'm trying. I hate my weight. I have a Buddha belly is the best way. Um, I'm a, like I said, I'm 5'3". Yeah, I got what you meant, lady. Um, my thing is like with my weight, if I put on 5 pounds, it goes straight to my stomach. Um, I'm wanting if I can get some money saved, I want to start getting a bike and start riding again. 'Cause that's what I did when I was trying to enlist in the military. I did a lot of bike riding and running. Um, and I loved it. I loved that time by myself riding my bike or running. And I had a lot of people tell me, I worked at a grocery store at the time. A lot of people told me that, you don't have that pot belly anymore. And, but then I hurt my knee and was denied enlistment, which I don't know if anyone's ever had that experience where all your plans in an instant just go up in smoke. That was me in the doctor's office when this doctor, who I went to church with, he and his nurse practitioner wife, I went to church with him. Their son was in the youth group with me, and I asked him flat out, "Will you sign off on military service?" He said, "No, I can't." And in that instant, that that one no, all my plans were gone. I wanted to enlist in the Air Force, but God decided not to let me go down that path. So since then, I've been trying to find a new path. So I'm, like I said, I'm getting there. So, but I'm satisfied. I don't know. Satisfied is the right word. I can't think of a right word. Like I said, I'm exhausted in the afternoons. I just crash sometimes when I get home. When your weight is not what you're used to, or a weight what you're happy with, it can be very discouraging and turn. Yeah, it has been. It was bad for a long time for me. I used to stress eat. Used to like. I was so bad. I used to get a can of frosting and a spoon and just eat it. It was bad. And I drank like 5 or 6 sodas a day. Working at a grocery store didn't help when you have the sodas and candies right in front of you for 8 hours a day. And I do. I don't have sweet. I do drink. I think I might be getting a little too heavy on the sodas again, but I do drink a lot of water. I drink tea every once in a while. Like my drink for tonight during the show is a Diet Coke, and I think it's my second one today. But working at a grocery store, I would drink like 5 or 6 a day. You know, I get it before work for my shift. I grab one and go sit and relax. Um, I get one on break, get one on my way home after my shift ended. I drink maybe 1 or 2 during the day. But at one time I was able to work. I had a nutritionist friend who helped me cut out sodas, and I lost like 50 pounds just in like 2 months just due to cutting out sodas. because at my heaviest, I think I was between 275 and 250. I think I might be close back to 250. I cut my sugar and it's done. Yeah, the first few weeks, I tried to go cold turkey once, and I started having headaches, lower back pain. And I asked my friend's mom, who's an OBGYN, not my kind of doctor, but she was a friend. So I asked her, I said, what? I'd get cold sweats too. And I asked her, I said, what's going on? Why am I feeling this way? She's like, you're going through caffeine withdrawals. I was like, I'd never experienced this before, but it's like, during the workday, I drink maybe 2 or 3 bottles of water, just walking around and talking to the kids so much. I have to get something to drink. But I think maybe because before I lived a very sedentary lifestyle. Before I got this job, I'd wake up, jump on my computer until like it was time until I started falling asleep. Started to fall asleep, So that's like 12, 13 hours a day just sitting here. But now getting back up, walking as far as I do. I still have Pokemon Go on my phone, so I'll put it on a 5 kilometer Pokemon egg and have it done by. I'll put one on Monday, and by like Wednesday or Thursday it'll hatch. So I'm walking more than I did. I could still do more. I could always, like I said, I'm not satisfied, but I could do more. And I'm hoping by Christmas I'll be able to get myself a bike. Maybe that'll be my Christmas gift for myself. My niece has already made her Christmas list. She wants makeup, those bracelet maker things, and a Yeti cup. Not just any Yeti cup. It has to be this light blue teal like Yeti cup. She told me exactly what she wanted. And I was thinking about getting her Nintendo Switch, not just for her because I've always wanted one too, but I'm not going to spend $200-$300 for one unless I have to. But that's going to be another great thing. I'm going to be able to buy everyone Christmas gifts. Yeah, that's one thing. Another thing I want to do. If you ever see a picture of me, I don't smile because I'm missing some teeth. Not the front ones in the center, but the two beside. I think those are canines. I just didn't have permanent teeth for them to grow in. I had the baby teeth, lost them, nothing to grow in. But I also found out I don't have wisdom teeth. Never had to go through the problem of having those removed. But get this, I have one wisdom teeth, but it's all the way up in my cheekbone, and and I just found out about that last year. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. And the dentist said there's no way it can physically go down and grow in. So I never have to go through the pain of getting those. But I want to get implants put in, and that's $2,000 or $3,000 right there, because my neighbor growing up, he owned and ran his own dental lab. Where that was his job. He would make dentures. That was their job, make dentures and implants. And back then, he said you were looking at $5,000 or $6,000. But I stopped by his house a few years ago, and we were talking, and he said you're looking at maybe $2,000-$3,000, half price. But it's the anesthesia that probably gets you the most, because I had a teacher point out, she's like, yeah, they're basically putting metal rods into your face. But it's, my mom would, even when I was on insurance, my mom would always ask every year for Christmas, even when she knew the answer, she'd always call. Excuse me. She always call insurance like, hey, can you pay for this? They'd say, no, ma'am, it's cosmetic, which it sucked. But it's, Shelly, you're so much stronger than me. You are. You're one of the strongest people I've ever met. You, Shelly. Yes. Yes, it was. I still never got that. I want her to listen to that. I think she'd find that so funny, but I never got the recording. But Shelly, you are one of the strongest persons I've ever met. You are. This is gonna sound corny and cheesy as hell, but you inspire a lot of people. So I don't think you realize how much you inspire people too. That's why people are so loyal to you. Because you inspire us. You show us someone who has gone through the ringer and come out stronger. I know you can't take compliments. I know. I knew that was the reaction I was going to get. But it's true. But yeah. So all mushy now, mushy and gushy. Yeah. Okay. So we've been going for about an hour and a half, actually. I was thinking I was going to be 30, 45 minutes. But see, told you, Shelly. I'm not the only one who thinks that. Yes, she is, Lady Autumn. She's one of the strong ones. She's one of the goats, as the kids would say nowadays. But I think the next I'll talk about some movies that come out, some ideas for the channel that I've been trying to work on. And once I can get some money, I know I said this last job I had, some money put into the channel, I'm hoping to see some growth within the new year. You know, so thank you all for coming. You don't know how much that means to me. And, you know, I wasn't sure if anyone was going to be here after not streaming for so long. So I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving. That y'all eat as much turkey, ham, and stuffing until you explode. So spend this time being thankful for your passions. And remember, like I always say, find your passion and nerd out about it. Love you all. I'm the Outpost of the Nerd. I'm still here. Love you all. Later.
Lost in space, I found my police. In this outpost of solitude, my way. Binary code runs through my veins. With every beat and beat, I feel no pain. Signing off, it's time to go. Goodbye, my nerdy friends, see you later. I know through the stars we've shared this ride. But now it's time to say goodbye, farewell with pride.